Welcome to BD Daily Tech News Podcast, your daily briefing on tech and innovation. It's 2026, February 2nd, and today we're doing 4 tight stories. Apple's updated AirTag, Grok's deepfake mess, OpenClaw-style AI agents that can actually do things, and a farm robot brain that spots weeds without constant retraining.
I love that our lineup is find your keys, stop the internet from being weird, let a robot live in your group chat, and then agriculture. It's like a self-help book for society, but with batteries.
Story 1. Apple's new second-generation AirTag is a modest upgrade. Same price. It's still $29 for one or $99 for a 4-pack. But you get slightly better wireless range, a louder chime, and notably, the ability to pinpoint an item's location using your Apple Watch, so you don't have to pull out an iPhone for that last few feet.
So it's like Apple looked at the AirTag and said, what if we made it slightly more AirTag? I'm not mad. I lose things like it's my side hustle. But does better range mean I can find my keys from the couch without standing up?
That's the practical question. Think of it like a lighthouse getting a slightly brighter bulb. The system still relies on nearby Apple devices detecting the tag and relaying its location. Better range and louder sound help in the it's-in-the-house scenario. Couch cushions, gym bag, coat pocket. The Apple Watch precision finding is the real convenience bump because it reduces friction at the exact moment you're already annoyed.
Also, if my watch can find my keys, I'm one step closer to living inside the Apple ecosystem like a well-moisturized houseplant. But is it upgrade-worthy if you already have AirTags?
Most takes say, not really, unless you specifically want the Apple Watch pinpointing or you're buying new trackers anyway. Actionable tip, if you're shopping, buy the new one. If you already own the old one, spend that $29 on preventing loss, like a dedicated hook by the door, because behavior beats hardware.
Behavior beats hardware is such a personal attack on me. Okay, from find my keys to please don't generate crimes. Let's talk about Grok.
Story 2. A coalition is demanding a federal Grok ban in government agencies after reports that the XAI chatbot generated large volumes of non-consensual sexual images. The complaint frames it as a child safety and national security concern because once a tool reliably produces abusive content, it becomes a scalable harm engine, not just a bad output problem.
The phrase scalable harm engine is chilling because it's accurate. People hear deepfakes and imagine celebrity memes, but this is more like anyone with a grudge and Wi-Fi can mass-produce trauma. How is this still happening after like a decade of everyone yelling about it?
The simple tech version, image generation models can be prompted to synthesize realistic bodies and faces, and guardrails are basically filters and policies layered on top. If guardrails are weak, inconsistent, or easy to jailbreak, the model behaves like a powerful printing press with a bouncer who keeps leaving the door unlocked.
So we're trusting the bouncer that's also the bartender and occasionally the DJ. Cool. What does this mean for normal people besides delete the internet?
3 practical takeaways. 1. Treat any app that can generate or remix images as a potential identity risk tool. Lock down your public photos where possible. 2. For workplaces and schools, set policy now, which AI tools are allowed and what's a reportable incident. 3. Expect procurement pressure. Government and enterprises will demand stronger safety guarantees, audit logs, and incident response from AI vendors.
Okay, that was the AI can ruin your life segment. Now let's do AI can run your life, which is somehow also scary. OpenClaw time.
Story 3. OpenClaw is a trending open-source AI agent that runs on your own computer and can interact through messaging apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, Discord, and iMessage. The pitch is it actually does things. Reminders, emails, scheduling. Because it's not just answering questions, it's executing actions with access to your accounts and tools.
So it's like giving a very eager intern your phone, your calendar, and a caffeine budget, and then saying, go wild. I want it. I also fear it. What's the catch besides, oops, it emailed my boss a meme?
The catch is permissions. Agents turn language into operations. Read this message, click that button, send that email. That means your threat model changes from AI might be wrong to AI might do the wrong thing. Actionable checklist. Use a separate account where possible. Limit scopes on API keys. Require confirmation for payments or sending messages. And keep logs so you can audit what the agent did and when.
I love that the future is please enable two-factor authentication for your robot. Also, open source means people can inspect it, but it also means people can fork it into OpenClaw Chaos Edition, right?
Exactly. Open source can improve transparency, but distribution matters. Where you download it, what plugins you add, and whether it's sandboxed. Treat agents like you'd treat browser extensions. Useful, but each one is a potential backdoor. If you want the productivity upside, start narrow. One workflow, one device, minimal permissions, and expand only after it behaves.
From chat robots to farm robots. Same concept. Give the machine eyes, then pray it doesn't freestyle. What's the deal with the plant detecting model?
Story 4. Carbon Robotics built what it calls a large plant model that detects and identifies plants. The key claim is generalization. Farmers can target new types of weeds without retraining the machines every time. That's big because retraining is slow and expensive, and farms don't have time for a machine learning science project mid-season.
So instead of teaching the robot every weed like it's memorizing flashcards, it's learning the concept of weed vibes. That's surprisingly relatable. Why does this matter to people who don't own a tractor that runs Linux?
It ties to food prices, chemical use, and labor. Better identification can reduce blanket herbicide spraying by enabling more targeted removal. It can also help farms cope with labor shortages by automating repetitive field work. The broader tech trend is foundation model thinking is moving from chat to vision in the physical world, where mistakes cost money, not just embarrassment.
Today's moral arc. Trackers get slightly better, chatbots need stronger guardrails, agents need tighter permissions, and robots are learning to see weeds like a pro. Also, I'm now thinking about putting an AirTag on my Dignity because it gets lost online daily.
Quick recap and action steps. If you're buying trackers, the new AirTag is the default choice. If you're worried about AI image abuse, tighten your photo exposure and push for clear policies at work. And if you're tempted by agentic AI, start with minimal permissions and mandatory confirmations. And watch the physical AI trend. Vision models are becoming infrastructure for industries like agriculture.
Subscribe if you like tech news that doesn't assume you have a PhD in vibes. And send this episode to the friend who says, I have nothing to hide, while posting their entire face library in 4K.
That's it for BD Daily Tech News Podcast, your daily briefing on tech and innovation. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with the next briefing.